Hello everyone, I'm Chesswick44 and welcome to this Let's Play of Tyranny. Last episode, we went on a storming of Duskwatch Fort. It ended up going relatively well, although we ended up having to fight everyone anyway. Killers in Shadow still doesn't really like us, which is pretty damn unfortunate. But not much we can really do due to what we expect. We managed to save the person inside and cleared out the fort. Now, the time has come to report back to Iron Hearth. And report back to... Oh! Through the billowing dirt and rust kicked up by the Edict of Storms, you make out the shifting silhouettes of a small group ahead of you. Appearing lightly armed and armored, the group pulls two carts in their wake. They haven't noticed you through the maelstrom. We could attempt subterfuge, no. Hail them. Wary of your presence, the travelers halt when you hail them and await your approach. Their emaciated faces make it clear that hunger has left them weak. One steps forward to explain that they're scavengers from Old Stalwart, hoping to trade their haul in exchange for food and for their families. A glance at their goods reveals that they're carrying remnants of bronze and iron arms likely scrounged from the blade grave. The leader of the group, head bowed deeply in deference, asks if they may pass. Leave them be, guide them, proclaim them guilty of treason or confiscate their goods. We'll guide them. Escorting the travelers, you lead them through the ragged wastes to the Blade Grave's broken border. They thank you profusely for your assistance, swearing to spread word of your fairness to others in Stalwart. Their leader shows her appreciation with a few pieces of scrap before the group continues their march away from the Edict of Storms. Well, the Unbroken gained some favor, and iron ingots, whatever those are for. Moving on. Look, if we can get good things on their side, that would be great. But we had to fight that, and I guess we couldn't have really done anything else. Alright. I think first things first... first things first, we'll report in. Then we'll rest. Then we'll sell the various loot we have. Okay, then. Fatebinder, you return! Through his congenial smile, you just barely detect that Ash is wincing. Is something wrong, Archon? Nothing I can't handle. The war takes a toll on everyone it touches, but in my case the price can be heavier than most. He rises to full height and dismisses your concerns with an authoritative shrug of his shoulders. But never mind that. You didn't come to hear about an old man's aching joints. We have a realm to subjugate and people to break under the disfavored banner. What is it you require? My search for Amelia takes me to Rust Canyons. I'm pleased to hear of your progress. Rust Canyon was once a verdant pass for travelers, and one of many choke points on the way to Sentinel Stand. Now it's merely a garbage heap infested by rebellion. The Unbroken are seeking artifacts. That does make sense. With no means to kill Stratus Harridan from outside of Sentinel Stand, the only chance of breaching the Wind Wall would be through an artifact's power. The trouble is, the number of artifacts scattered about the realm is anyone's guess, and I couldn't tell you which of them could get the job done. If these rebels are committed to the task, it's possible they know something more. I believe it was the custom of each of the regions to travel with some artifact in their possession. With all but one of their polluted bloodline killed during the conquest, the Unbroken are likely seeking a corpse among thousands. A fool's errand, but not an ignoble one. The Unbroken leader is named Matthias. Matthias. I have not come across his name, but yours is the most recent intelligence we've dredged from the region, so I can well believe that it's true. Whatever he calls himself, this upstart should be killed to set an example for his would-be army. Should you come across him, I expect his head to topple from his shoulders in good order. I confirmed that Amelia's unit was taken by Stratus Harridan's troops. Damn that corrupt inbred of a regent. If his death were not required to end the Edict of Storms, I would take pleasure in breaking him on the rack myself. I was devastated when Amelia's cohort vanished. A father's dread is not so different from a general's, and in my case I am twice cursed to suffer the pain of her absence. I still feel her presence. It's grown stronger even, so I know that she lives, but I fear for her safety all the same. I received word that my disfavored have cleared a path to Rust Canyons that should prevent any rebels from entering or leaving the area. You should make contact with Theodore, the lieutenant in charge of the attack. He will guide you from there. Farewell. Hold on a moment, I just thought of something that I may have completely done, accidentally screwed up my recording session. I need to check something. Never mind, I take it back, nothing was screwed up. Oh, God, I am so glad I decided to use a different program for that recording. Anyway, next step, we'll go and sell these various items we have. I think it was you back here. Yes, show me your wares. We have a whole bunch of things to sell. Start with all of these. Anything else I want to get rid of? Oop, actually, the Skyblade Javelin might still be useful. I can get rid of the Vendrian Bronze Dagger. Hold on to that for now. I want to see if I can use it. Okay, get rid of some of these. And these miscellany. Okay, it's not much, but it's something. I could get the Iron Guard armor. You know what? It would be an even trade. I'll do it. Well, roughly even, anyway. This javelin, would it be better than the one I have? Yes, in every single way. Okay, and the armor... Okay, swap back to that. The armor is also much better. Definitely better. Okay, now we can sell these few items we have. These few other items we have. That and that. And now that I think about it, we can get the Sigil of Stone. You know what, go for it. We don't have this one, so let's learn it. Now, Sigil of Stone, I believe, is this one. Evoking energy through the Sigil of Stone takes great force of will, as rock is not easily shaped to a human's desire. Perhaps the newest magical sigil on Tyranny, the Sigil of Stone was developed by disciples of the Archon Cairn. Since the Archon of Stone's destruction by Kyrus' edict in the year 430 TR, the Earthshaker mages have devoted themselves to preserving Cairn's legacy and learning to harness the power of this obdurate sigil. We have 3. Flesh to Stone. Coat an enemy in rock and earth, petrifying them. This spell is very inaccurate. Don't really care for that very much, if it's so inaccurate. Yeesh. We have Stone Spike. Draw a jagged spike of hard stone from the earth and send it flying towards a foe. The spike interrupts the target and deals pierce or crush damage, whichever is greater. Okay, simple enough. And we have Gift of the Golem. Coat a target from head to toe in large earthen slabs of rock. While in this form, movement is restricted, but armor is greatly increased. Okay, interesting, but I don't think I'm going to be using it. In fact, I don't really care much for any of these, except Stone Spike, which is a general kind of crush pierce damage. I don't think we're going to use that. But at least we have it. Alright, now let's go rest, because we can. I think the camp is... Where the hell is the tent? There it is. Yes, give us a rest. Not the recovery I would have expected, but it's something. I wonder if these other people have other quests, side quests for us now. Okay, That Which Remains is a new quest title. Do you have a new quest, I wonder? Your presence is welcome, as always. The disfavored have enough to accomplish that we need all hands on deck. The answer is no. Okay. Well, let's move on. If I could speed up time, I would, so that I could run over here faster. That would be neat. Alright, and out of here we go. To Rust Canyons. Kairos' magical storms bored through these once fertile hills, creating the winding, dust-strewn canyons present today. The process killed both disfavored and unbroken soldier alike, and now their corpses remain embedded in the earth. And we arrived during the day. I'll take that. Alright.
Kairos' storm ripped all life to shreds, leaving behind only armor and weapons.
Jesus.
It is chilling to see these metal remains with my own eyes.
I'll say. Wedged into these rocks are the iron trappings of soldiers killed by Kairos' edict. Magical winds sheared away all flesh, leaving behind only rusting armor and weaponry. Sheesh. Really is amazing what you find out here. An unbroken soldier struggles to rise to his feet. One arrow lodged in his shoulder, the other in his thigh. He attempts to stand, but his muscles are too weak for the task. Are you all right, soldier? He turns to you in bafflement, squinting across the dust-strewn expanse, recognition barely evident in his gaze. You ironclads don't usually ask questions before you start shoving spears in our guts. Surprised you can even string words together. Before he can continue, you both catch the sound of iron boots trudging closer. A disfavored soldier calmly approaches from the west. He regards the vulnerable southerner with a curled lip and a disapproving shake of his head. Weak and broken. Prisoners make for poor sport. Your escape was spirited, but damned foolish. He raises his sword and points it at the unbroken man's heart, poised to let it plunge and impale him into the filth-strewn ground. Is this really necessary? His sword wavers as he notices you. Ah, Fatebinder. I hope you've come to tidy up the mess these vermin caused for us. But to answer your question, Ash has deemed it so yes, it is. In one swift motion, he plunges his sword into the man's heart, pinning the fallen soldier to the rested earth. The disfavored soldier turns to the unbroken camp, frustration evident in his tone. Then his gaze shifts over to you and back to the walls. I have reinforcements now, Elia. If you open the gates, I can still make this easy on you. He passes you a knowing glance that suggests he's lying and proud of it. You see a woman stride purposefully into view atop a platform along the wall's edge. She lifts a spear and hurls it at Theodore, cursing under her breath when it breaks against the rocks. I am so fucking tired of listening to you. Go shriek at someone else's fortress for a change, and stop trying to impress me by hunting down unarmed prisoners. Maybe the ladies of the north get shivery over your bravado, but all it tells me is that your codpiece is emptier than your skull. I don't believe we've been introduced. No shit. One ironclad or two, it makes no difference. These walls can stand against Kairos' fury and your pig countryman's saber-rattling. Make no mistake, Elia, you would be better served as my camp slave than as my enemy. Such a waste of good potential. He tips his head to the west. Fatebinder, let's consult when you have a moment. Indeed, that will be our first goal. Warren's shortbow, heavy bronze boots. Okay, those are definitely better. I am putting those on immediately. These pair. Much better. We'll loot out front later. For now, let's go consult at the camp. Well, we found it. A ragged, stalwart flag sways gently in the wind, marking the site where its original owner died during the casting of the Edict of Storms. The lieutenant holds up his sword and squints through the obscurity of the high winds. "Who goes there?" "Oh, it's you, Fatebinder. I wish you didn't have to witness that crude exchange before. Elia and her lot have caused me no lack of trouble." His manner softens. "You are most welcome here. Even if your loyalties fall with the court more than the Legion, we need all the help we can get. Ash sent word to expect you. If he dispatched an outsider to help us in the field, that says something about his urgency to see these Unbroken conquered for good. I think we can both appreciate that his interest in seeing this matter resolved is of a personal nature." I apologize for that outsider remark. Some of us aren't accustomed to working with anyone but the Legion proper. Let's focus on the task at hand. Aye, I'd be happy to leave this place in my tracks. Something about the wind seems to carry all of the worst of the stink and refuse to this corner of Stalwart. Ash says the Unbroken are scavenging the blade grave for an old Stalwart heirloom. I can think of nothing else that would help us breach Sentinel Stand, short of the Regent's timely death. They're not making it easy by holding themselves up behind walls. If the conquest is any evidence, Stalwart folk are less inclined toward facing their enemies in open battle. The Tearsmen are like rats, squeezing themselves behind the narrowest walls to avoid the inevitable. No matter what they find here, the Unbroken are trapped. North of camp, we have soldiers led by my subordinate Jacomus. To the south, reinforcements march as we speak. He taps his chin in thought. Still, I would appreciate any help you can offer. The sooner we claim that Unbroken artifact, the sooner we reach Sentinel Stand. What do you know about artifacts in general? Aside from wishing I had a few to my name, he shakes his head in bewilderment. There are weapons and items powerful enough to change the tide of any battle. I couldn't speak to their nature or how they're responsible for such storied deeds, but I have no reason to doubt what they can do. The word coming down the line is that an artifact can breach Sentinel Stand. You'll hear no complaints from me. That fortress has stood unchallenged for too long. With your help, I have little doubt it'll wear disfavored banners before long. This hardly looks like a territory worth taking, or defending. Well, the search for the artifacts clearly changed how we view this garbage pit. In truth, Rust Canyons presents us with some strategic advantages. Our location brushes shoulders with Ironhearth and Duskwatch Fort. If we could claim this spot for the disfavored, that would be as good as controlling the whole region. Kind of. Sentinel Stand is still the real prize of the Blade Grave. Any word from Sentinel Stand? There seems to be more of a scout presence outside the wind wall. Unbroken, disfavored, everyone is on edge, waiting for something to happen. We'll have to hold our breath a little longer before we can uncork the old keep. Once we track down the Stalwart artifact, it'll be a mad scramble as everyone races to claim Sentinel Stand first. But any new information? Not as such. We have every reason to assume that Stratus Harridan hasn't committed suicide yet, and we're hopeful that Ash's daughter is in fair condition. I only hope that her father's protection is keeping her spirits high. Tell me about the Unbroken presence here. They've built a fortified camp due east of here, and another group holds a choke point to the southeast. Though calling it a camp gives the Unbroken too much credit. It's a scavenger's warren, garbage fortifications that our enemies have managed to defend through dumb luck. No longer. Today it falls. I'm ready to hear how I can contribute. My men are eager for battle, and we wouldn't mind taking the Unbroken camp in advance of our reinforcements. He glances to his countrymen with a smile. That'll show the old 15th cohort, eh, boys? You may want to clear out a group of Unbroken by the bridge to the southeast. They guard another entrance into the camp. Some of our men are being held captive there too, and we need the extra numbers on our side to hold these canyons. Now, strictly speaking, my orders are to wait for reinforcements, so I can't directly assist you. But once we secure the camp, you get first pick of the spoils and a chance to interrogate their leader, Elia. Deal? Very well, I'll help you. Glad to hear it. I would go after the Unbroken stationed at the eastern bridge first.
Our time together has not gone to waste. See that pen over there? The prisoners within are dressed in Unbroken colors.
Yeah, noted. And you leveled up, which is nice. Need some cast-off iron? Maybe a few teeth for a necklace for your special someone? The merchant drops one of her many satchels to the ground and pulls from it numerous tools and trinkets. The scavengers do the gathering, and then I take it from them. Profitable work, if you can manage it. Show me what you have to trade. That's the spirit. Come, take a look. I don't think... well, I do have these few things to sell. And nothing else. Anything we could use? Bronze dagger. Heart finder. That's like a dagger, I think. Probably a dagger. Blood chanter's staff. Interesting. Camping supplies. Scarlet poison. Blood chanter leathers. Leather buckler. Oh. Trade those away. Okay. And a level up for Barrack. Let's see. I think the accuracy bonus would be good to have. So we'll go with that. Let's see. Punisher or Sentinel? What have we got here? Defensive benefits from shields, number of enemies. Bolsters the strength of his nearby allies. That would be good. Barrack and nearby party members take reduced damage. Oh, that I like. That... no, I'm not rooting you in place. Yeah, let's do a Defender's Watch. I think that's a good thing to have.
On it.
With that, we all get a bonus. And he's got a level up boost, not that it really matters at the moment. And that's the camp. That must be the bridge down there. We will do what we can. That's the camp front gate. I wonder if we'll even be able to speak with Elia. Alright, let me just take a look here. Is there anything over here?
Sorry,
There's a path over there, but we can't get to it.
Can't do that.
I mean, we can go up here, but there's no point. Can't get to that chest yet. I see others have tried to take this place, with painful results. The unbroken captain looks down from the elevated platform, resting a heavy boot on top of an axe head buried in the wooden slats. She grips its handle as you approach. What do we have here? The Stormcaller, if I'm not mistaken. Elia frowns down at you. You fucked us over good with the Edict of Storms, but you gave us a fair warning beforehand. I'll give you that much by way of respect. Her expression twists with sudden recognition. Aren't you the one who fucked over Agathon at Duskwatch? We have nothing to say to one another. Either you're Graven Ash's favourite comfort soldier, or you just like to see honest folk die. Either way, you're a pile of beast shit to me. No matter what happens here, the Unbroken will take back Sentinel's Stand and banish all you northern piss troughs from the tiers. I'd rather die than see Stalwart under Kyrus' sigil. You can't imagine what I'd do to avoid that. The Unbroken stand in defiance of Kyrus' rule. My presence should come as no surprise. Clueless lapdog. Of course I expected Kyrus to dispatch someone eventually. The Overlord isn't in the habit of making appearances. You seem smart enough to realize that the Overlord's wrath kills servant and foe alike. Why you aren't smart enough to do anything about it is a mystery to me. If you tell me how to breach Sentinel's Stand, I might show the Unbroken some mercy. You'll pardon the fuck out of me if I go ahead and ignore your northern rhetoric. Your type sees us as nothing but future slaves made only to serve the Empire's needs. I already know that the disfavored are looking for artifacts of Stalwart. I also know that they're searching blind. I'll take my knowledge to the grave if it keeps you out of Sentinel's Stand. You can count on that. She whistles to her men, a warning signal of impending attack. She stares at you, silent and ready. You've made your choice. I will return. Don't leave me to wonder, you simpering three-ring upright. Elia makes a vulgar hand motion and turns away. A bit of loot there. Take a look down here if we can. And that's the bridge. Well, we were told of it. That's likely the way we need to go first. So we will in the next episode, because this episode has gone on about long enough. Pity it seems diplomacy isn't going to work out here because we snuck in and didn't try a diplomatic approach before. Oh well. Guess we're doing this the hard way. But that'll be in the next episode. So until then, I am Chester44. That is Jason Pendragon, Barrack, Lantry, and Kills in Shadow. This has been a Let's Play of Tyranny, and I shall see you all next time.